me start with one, I would say, personal story. I thought tomorrow you had in agenda hidden qualities that you can get for your health while working with dogs. So when my oldest daughter was born, then something went wrong with the immune system. So somehow her immune system, when she was a newborn baby, didn't start to work properly. So we were discussing the situation with a family doctor, and I was very much afraid that I have to leave all the cakes I love and everything, because I was breastfeeding and I didn't want to change my diet, whatever it's called. So the doctor then said that maybe you should consider to have a dog. What? Said I. Yeah, it might help when a small baby has this immune system problem. Okay, that's much easier than to change a diet. So we took a dog. And actually, my daughter's health went into order very quickly. Doctor said that we should let the dog to lick the baby and do everything. So we did it. And it really helped. So my oldest daughter is now 21 years old, and she never ever had any health problems with immune system afterwards, but she is definitely a big dog lover. So I don't know how the doctor knew it or how it works, but I had a possibility to go to a scientific museum in Paris in January, and there they actually had a terminal exhibition on how your stomach works. So they explained that it's a lot of bacteria that is in your stomach, something like 2 kilograms. And there was a big picture on the wall that actually you should put babies and dogs together, because then the babies will have a better bacterial system in their stomach. So that was not an introduction to the topic, but just my own experience about the hidden health treasures that dogs might have. So now I'm getting to more to these things that I'm working with. So the Equal Treatment and Gender Equality Commissioner's office in Estonia works on 2 sides. So first we take complaints from people who think that they might have been discriminated against. And secondly, we also do all kinds of promotional work to avoid discrimination. And in Estonia, the discrimination, all kind of discrimination, is prohibited by the constitution. And then we have also an equal treatment law and gender equality law. These are 2 separate laws. There is a slight problem that in the equal treatment law, the law is quite limited. It actually has taken over only the points that are in the equal treatment directives in the European Union. And there is no widening. So it means, for example, that disability is protected at the work life, and it's also protected as a ground in education, in all kinds of education, but it's not protected in services. So it means basically that when somebody wants to enter a taxi with a dog, and the taxi driver says no, then there is a difference whether a person who has ordered a taxi wants to go to work or to school or to some lectures. Then he or she gets free legal advice from the state. But when the taxi is going to grandmother, then it might be a little bit complicated. So our proposal has been that regarding to disability, we should have the law protection widened to all areas of life, similarly as we have that in gender, in nationality, in skin color, and so Estonia has accepted the general principle that we are not discriminating. Discrimination is prohibited, but the law itself is not meeting all the criteria that we would like to see. And I was studying a little bit before today's meeting how it's organized in other countries, and I was actually very impressed when I saw that in quite many countries many kinds of dogs have been specially named in the law, so what is allowed and what is not. Like you are not allowed to go to the zoo, but you can go to all other places, and when you are not allowed to go there with a dog, it's directly a discrimination case. So that is something I think generally with disability related issues we should also have in Estonia. And I must say that maybe dogs and the issues you are developing here might be a very clear example to explain to policymakers and lawmakers why this widening is actually needed. Because very many people accept this example, I hope, a little bit more easily than an idea that local government should refurbish all the flats to be accessible and all the other things. Because it's so touchingly human here. As said, we can handle the cases when they are related with the access to working place or with the access to education. The accurate picture is going better and better in Estonia, although some of the cases we have been handling are still very distressing. For example, one of the cases we had lately was training which was organized for disabled people, only for disabled people, and the training itself was not fully accessible. So we could achieve that the person got the things altered that were needed, but it was like 16 hours before the start of the actual training itself. So it might be not very easy to exercise all the way to the training and backwards when you have only so few hours left. What we are doing what we are doing with this case, for example, we have presented it to the body which organized this training, and we got to know that there were other mistakes as well. So this is a typical case that when a person who is in a weaker situation already stands up for his or her rights, he or she actually helps very many other people as well, who have been maybe much stronger, but who haven't stood up for their rights. So this is why I always underline that however difficult it might seem and however difficult it might be, it actually helps many other people as well when pointing out the situations which are discriminatory or which very easily might become discriminatory. I'm not a right person to explain it, but my sight is just okay. I have -9. When it's a strong sunshine when it's raining, I am really very thankful to everybody who has organized this sound-based traffic light system, because even I can get a lot of benefit from this. So in whatever ways our small office can help, either on Estonian level but also on the European Union level, because all the equality bodies are very much cooperating with each other. We share the cases, we share the ideas. There is an organization called Equinet, where there are 48 equality bodies all over Europe, not only European Union member states, but other European countries as well. So whatever might be the concrete ideas or to put on the table in the Europe, or the cases to handle in Estonia, we are really very interested in to do this, because this is the basic thing, that when there is a well-organized system, deeply in human nature, I always forget how many thousands or millions of years we have lived together with dogs, but it's a long time anyway. So when we have such a deeply human possibility to help people with our everyday lives, and when this meets any kinds of discrimination, it should be stopped and it should be abolished.